and foremost, I want to thank you. You were one of the first that called out Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, CFK. I read in my preparation for this over the last few weeks, I read a letter that you sent to Secretary Blinken back in 2022, calling for sanctions, calling for sanctioning her and her family. And I want to thank you for that. I think you were the first to have called that out in the United States. I'm glad it's happened now with Secretary Rubio. She has been prosecuted and found guilty of fraud by not one, but two courts. Our version of the Supreme Court found her guilty. If she wasn't a politician there, she would be in prison. She's on house arrest because of some political favoritism that's going on down there. And obviously she wasn't involved in the AMIA bombings that we know of, but she was definitely involved in the cover-up of somehow. And God knows if she was involved in the death of the special prosecutor. I applaud Malay's efforts to get to the bottom of this. I think we need to continue to investigate who was at fault for the bombings. There is an arrest warrant out apparently on some member of Hezbollah. And I support any efforts to continue, the problem with Argentina is that it's not a problem, it's just a challenge, a solution. There are 23 provinces, and each of the provinces have their own separate government. And their own separate government could negotiate with external forces, with the Chinese or others, to come in and do projects in that particular province. And that may also lend towards corruption on the part of the Chinese. One of my roles as ambassador would be to travel to all the provinces and have dialogue and have a true partnership with those governors. Not only with the president, not only with President Milei, Geraldo Wortham, the foreign minister, Luis Caputo, Santiago Caputo, and everybody in the Malay government, but my role is also to get out into the countryside and make sure that we weed out corruption and support Malay and the Malay government on all their efforts to get to the bottom of the MIA bombing and to make sure that Cristina Fernández de Kirchner receives the justice that she well deserves. There is still a movement out there. There's a Kirchnerist movement. It's even a far left, or even, not said probably, even further left than the Peronist movement. And that's something that we need to continue to watch out for. Argentina has had very unusual times. They've had multiple presidencies, and we need to continue to support the Malay presidency through the midterms and through the next term.